Hey y'all, it's Dr. Lori. So today we are going to dive into organic chemistry on the MCAT. So OChem scares a lot of pre-med students, especially if it wasn't your favorite back when you took it, but it really doesn't have to. The MCAT tests very specific and predictable topics, and knowing exactly what these topics are is kind of your key to scoring really high in the OChem passages. So in this video, I am going to clearly outline every single high-yield OChem topic that you absolutely need to know very well. So let's jump right into it. The first topic is functional groups and nomenclature. Functional groups are kind of one of the foundations of organic chemistry. The ones that you absolutely must know are alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids, amines, amides, and esters. You want to make sure that you can quickly recognize and name each type of functional group right on site. You need to also understand their basic chemical behavior and their properties. Make sure that you memorize the naming conventions and structures very, very clearly. They really do frequently appear directly in questions and in the answer choices themselves. Topic number 2, stereochemistry. Stereochemistry really is frequently tested. You especially want to make sure that you focus on chirality and stereocenters. You need to be able to know R versus S configurations. You also want to understand enantiomers versus diastereomers. You want to know optical activity and how things respond to plane polarized light. You want to understand Fisher projections. So make sure that you can practice determining stereochemistry quickly from different given structures and confidently differentiate different types of stereoisomers. The third topic is reaction mechanisms and reagents. Reaction mechanisms and reagents are really a major focus. You need to understand SN1 and SN2 reactions, key differences, nucleophile versus electrophile strength, and solvents. You also need to know addition reactions, hydrogenation, hydration, and halogenation. You need to know alkene and alkyne chemistry very, very, very clearly. Make sure you understand this. You also really need redox stuff, oxidation and reduction. That's a really, really high yield one. The key reagents you want to make sure that you memorize are PCC, KMNO4, NABH4, and LiALH4. So make sure that you master the mechanisms thoroughly. It really is the highest yield OChem stuff that you're gonna see. Topic number 4, spectroscopy, IR and NMR. Spectroscopy does regularly appear on the MCAT. In terms of IR spectroscopy, you want to be able to identify your functional groups, OH, C double bond O, NH2, from different peaks. And in terms of NMR, you want to understand chemical shifts, splitting patterns, and integration. You want to be able to identify molecular structures clearly and rapidly using the spectra. So practice interpreting spectra repeatedly until it becomes something that you can do second nature very quickly. The 5th topic that you're going to see are lab techniques. Lab techniques that you're going to see show up frequently include extraction, distillation, chromatography is a really big one, TLC, and gas chromatography. You're going to see recrystallization principles. You're going to see separation techniques and purity tests. So make sure that you clearly understand each method's purpose and principles. This is tested more practically instead of theoretically. The 6th topic you're going to see, biologically relevant organic chemistry. This probably is going to be one of the most frequent ones that show up. You need to know amino acids, their structures, their stereochemistry, and their reactions. You need to understand peptide bond formation and hydrolysis. You need to understand carbohydrates. This one's really, really big. You need to know your monosaccharides, glucose, fructose, your disaccharides, your polysaccharides. You need to make sure that you recognize structures quickly and that you know how these molecules react under biological conditions. So let's talk about an effective study plan and strategy. First, focus on the high yield reactions and mechanisms. Make sure that you do daily practice with flashcards and maybe even try using some reaction maps. You definitely need regular practice identifying compounds from IR and NMR spectra. And you want to also use weekly timed practice passages so that way you can really build up your speed and your accuracy. Make sure that you're targeting your weak areas directly, and that's really going to help your OChem confidence start to really build. Okay, so here are some common mistakes to avoid whenever you're thinking about getting your OChem ready for the MCAT. First off, not fully mastering the reaction mechanisms. Those are super important. Make sure you get those down. Do not overlook stereochemistry. Stereochemistry is a big factor of it, so make sure that you get that in. Do not try to memorize spectra, try to actually understand the spectra, because there's no way to predict which spectra you're going to see on the actual exam. So, quick recap of your MCAT organic chemistry study priorities. Functional groups, clearly mastered forwards and backwards. Confident stereochemistry analysis. Reaction mechanisms, the ones that I outlined, memorized fully. And spectroscopy, make sure that you can interpret and practice regularly. And then biological OChem concepts, make sure those are clearly understood. All right, so if you have a clear plan, like something I just outlined for you, OChem really doesn't have to feel overwhelming. It starts to become pretty predictable what you're going to see show up on your full lengths and on the actual exam. Follow this roadmap, practice consistently, and your OChem skills really will start to become one of your strengths on your exam. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly MCAT prep tips and advice. Your journey to medical school is something that we're here to support you on.